Hello everyone, the 316 here with another Mcfarlane DC Multiverse Collector's Edition figures review. I got three different figures here. Clock King and Ragman are from the same wave, and Hawkman was from the second wave of the Collector's Edition. All of these figures originally retailed for $29.99. Clock King and Ragman have recently started to hit shelves. Hawkman's been out for a while. All of three of these have a platinum chase. Hawkman is more of the Super Friends like style of coloring. Clock King has a platinum that is an entirely different character with a different head sculpt, and Ragman is I think the Shadow Pact version. I believe that's what it's called. Anyway, starting off with accessories wise, all three of these figures still use the card stands here. Clock King, Hawkman, Ragman, just to show you. Here is the back of Clock King's read-up. And then here's Hawkman's. One thing to note about Hawkman's, I believe all of these say Abyss. That should say Hawkman, not Abyss. Just want to point that out. And then Ragman here, his is probably the longest. The only thing I know Ragman from is the Arrowverse, of course. Kind of surprised they used that character. And then he just like stopped a nuke and they got rid of him because he was too OP. I mean, what else are you going to do, right? Character too OP for a grounded, gritty show? Just get rid of him. He's still alive. He showed up in the last episode, but still. I want to go ahead and start off with Ragman. So Ragman here, he comes with two accessories, a mirrored pair of these quilt patch effect pieces. He's kind of like Crazy Quilt, where like he pulls off a patch and he like throws it at people. His powers come from his suit, basically, his rags, if you will. So very similar in terms of that. Hawkman, he only comes with his Morning Star mace. That's all he comes with. I mean, the wings technically are accessories too, but you know, you can't really have the Hawk people without the wings, right? And then Clock King here, he comes with two hands of clocks. He's got a smaller one and a larger one. You could use them as swords. I did try to put the hand on this piece here, but this section is too thick for him to hold it properly. So I think it's meant to be held from this circular section. It fits very well. But, you know, if you wanted to try, you could. And, you know, you can get him into some fun poses with it. You know, you can have the big hand up here, and then you can have, you know, the little hand like that, just as an idea. It was a little difficult getting these in at first, but I've put them in and taken them out so many times, it's loosened the hands up so they're not too terrible with getting them out. But I want to start with Hawkman figure-wise. So Hawkman here, as far as I know, was a completely new sculpt. Let me get these guys out of the way here. And I do like the figure. I really like the shading in the wings. That's probably my favorite part about this figure. The chest hair is kind of funny looking though, and that is molded chest hair with paint on top of it. So, you know, did they need to take that extra step? Probably not, but I'm glad they did. And then his arm over here, same thing. It is molded and then painted on top of, and I think this forearm is too. Yes, I like that he has hair. Many times we've seen Hawkman, he doesn't come with, you know, hair. It's just the helmet. And maybe a little bit sticking out of the back, but he's usually like, I wouldn't say clean shaven, but he's to the head, or just a little bit more. The wings here, they port into the back of the body, and it's just the standard Mcfarlane type of hinge joint. And as you can see there, it just goes in there, that joint, and that back piece is painted too. I do like that. One weird thing about this figure I noticed is like right here, he's got some like weird wrinkles on his back. It's strange looking. I mean, the camera focused for a second. There you go. Weird looking wrinkles. This figure is like oddly like realistic looking. Like he's got molded chest hair. He has nipples. He has nipples. I mean, bat suits have nipples, but this is just nipples. And they didn't even paint them. He's got some veins even in the arms. I thought that was even weirder than the nipples. Like, why does he need veins in his jacked arms. Like, don't get me wrong, if I had jacked arms like that, I'd show him off, but it's just weird for an action figure like this to have that. Again, just very strange. It's not a weird thing, it's just strange. The Morning Star here, it's not perfectly circular. It's kind of flattened a little bit. It's not like a globe. It's more like an ellipse globe. You know, it's squished a little bit. Top is perfectly circular though. Nice detailing on that, even on the handle. It is painted this brown color. I'm not sure what the base color is. Probably black. And there is some bend to it. So he does have two gloved hands. This hand is just so tiny. I'm sure it came from another figure and they just reused it, but I'm not sure which figure. Maybe Damian Wayne Robin. That's what it looks like to me, but not quite sure. And then he has this hand that has a gauntlet on it. I don't know if the gauntlet is removable, but if it isn't, I really don't like this flesh tone for the gloved hand. If this gauntlet is removable, however, then I don't mind that because I might just remove the gauntlet. This handpiece definitely looks like a reuse from the Hush Batman. I commented how weird that hand looked, and this one looks just like it. Maybe it's new, I don't know. He does have that issue of the like V legs rather than the H legs. At least that's what I call them. They just splay out a little too much. You could probably chop out some of the crotch rubber there and have them be more straight, but you know, it's not too bad. Before I move down to the legs completely, you can actually fit the Morning Star into his side pouch there. Personally though, I'm going to have him hold it in my display. Let me get that out of there. It's pretty easy to get in and out, no issues. From here on, the only paint is the belt buckle and these, I guess, boot buckles. I'm not quite sure, but you know, these are standard looking legs. I don't think they've been reused. I haven't seen them before. The shoe is nice. I'd like to see this get reused. The shoe for sure I'd like to see get reused, but if it would focus, there you go. You can kind of see some of the detail in there. Looks pretty good. Back of the figure here, he has some pouches on his belt. Yeah, nice looking Hawkman figure. Last thing I want to point out is that Hawk logo. Really like that. The Platinum version uses brighter colors. I much prefer the darker colors here and the gold helmet. I might think about repainting this guy like with like green pants, but I kind of like how it is just as is. You know, I'm not mad about this. I actually quite like the look of this Hawkman. I'm gonna go ahead and get the boxes out of the way before I forget. It's pretty standard stuff, but you know, if you're looking for these figures, here's the barcodes for Clock King and Ragman, and then of course you got the art on the back there. And then on Hawkman, same thing. I don't know. Oh yeah, the barcode's not visible. Yeah, that sticker ain't coming off. Sorry, no barcode for a Hawkman. Let's go do Ragman next. So he's got a wired cape, and it's probably my favorite wired cape because it is free, it is loose, it is not attached to the figure internally like it is over here on Clock King. I think that just looks much better, and you know, you can get some better poses out of this, and you're not, you know, completely limited by where the wire is internally in the figure. So really well done on that. You can get it to go forward, even cover him up a bit if you wanted to. Just really well done on the cloak here. But what I really like is the hood piece here. So this hood piece is actually also on a wire, so you can have it, you know, covering him more like the Spectre, or you could have it just contouring his face. Just really well done on that. The head sculpt here is painted more than I was expecting. You know, most of it's covered by the hood, but it actually has some texturing paint-wise on it. Looks good. I feel like this is a red hood head that they reused, but this might be brand new. Let me know in the comments down below. It definitely looks like reuse from a red hood figure. I mean, if it is, not too bad. He's got the strings here, which are just decorative. You could probably untie it if you wanted to and retie it, but he's got two like shoelaces and then the aglet sections. Paint-wise on the figure, it's just on the front. On the back of the figure, it's just green, which is kind of sad. I wish they would have at least put like, a patch on his butt or something, just to mess with us collectors, right? Just something funny. But the patches that are here, I really do like, and some of them even phosphoresce under a black light. Mostly just the white and yellow ones. Yellow ones really stand out. Just really like this figure. Articulation-wise, it is the John Kent Superboy figure, so I have shown off that articulation before, so I won't show it off here. But the only thing I will show off is the ab crunch. It's not too bad. And then Clock King. When this figure was announced, I'm like, yep, that's an instant buy for me. And you know what? This is a good figure. Just solid, good figure. $30 though. Anyway, he does have a wired cape as well. This one does have a bigger wingspan, but as you can see, it is stuck, internally in the figure. I don't mind that. I just wish that these were closer to the the breast piece rather than the shoulders, because when you want the cape to drape over, you have to curve this section, and it's not going to curve, or rather cover the shoulder pieces there, so you're kind of stuck with it like this. I do really like all of the clocks that they added on here. They're all painted very nicely. None of them look, not circular. They all look good. The one on the belt here, this is a new piece. I believe, it's hard to tell, but I think that the crotch piece might be reused, but they added a belt piece on top of it. This might be one whole piece, but I can get my thumbnail underneath that belt, so it might be two pieces or one new piece that just is separated at that section. But yeah, he's got some square clocks on his wrists. He's got them all on the front of his torso. They even put one by the elbow joint there. I thought that was pretty cool. This reuses the Catman body. You can tell because it has those like rings on it around the shoulders, which it looks fine. I kind of wish they reused the the Nightfall Batman body, or Dick Grayson, I guess. The back of the figure is unpainted, however, which is unfortunate. I do wish that they painted some clocks on the back of that. Really, I think the best detail here is the face sculpt here. I always felt like this was a mouth, and like the clock hands were like two eyes, and then the nose was the circle in the middle. Articulation-wise, he actually looks up pretty far, but you do have to stress it a little bit. Down-wise, not so much, and I have already shown off the articulation on this particular body, but ab crunch, it's okay for Mcfarlane, and you can get the cape in whatever pose you like. I'm not sure how I'm going to display this guy. I do like how the art card shows him, though, kind of like pointing, but unfortunately he doesn't come with any other accessories. I did have a QC issue before I forget. This ankle joint was swapped, so I had to flip it back so that it was actually, that it looked right. I could tell it was swapped because it looked weird, and then when I fixed it, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like it should. Alright, so there's Clock King there, and then let's get Hawkman in here, and actually, we'll do the Hawkman size comparisons first. I just want to measure these two guys. So Hawkman here at the top of his wings stands at about 8¼ inches tall. Clock King here stands at about 7.2, 7.1 inches tall. And Ragman is a clean 7 inches tall. So Hawkman here, he's part of the Justice League, but also the Justice Society. So I thought I'd go ahead and bring in some more contemporary versions of the Justice League, Superman and Green Lantern, and the more classic with the first appearance Platinum and the Alan Scott. So, whatever group you want to put him with, you absolutely can, and I think he'll look great with either group. He is a bit tall, but, being from Thanagar, he's an alien, so you can kind of fudge it if you want to, but pretty good looking. And then for Clock King and Ragman, I only brought one figure each for them. So here is Nightfall Batman with Clock King, just so you can see the differences in the mold. Not too many. and I went ahead and brought in the Titans Wave Nightwing for Ragman. Not going to do the usual suspects for this video. Just don't want to get all those figures down, and this video is running long anyway. So between these three figures, if I had to recommend just one, Hawkman would definitely be the one I would get. You can still find him for retail or just under. I got him for I think like 28 bucks, so could have done worse. If you want the platinum, that one's going for like 60 bucks minimum, so good luck with that. I would actually recommend Clock King out of these three. I just think that he's a really fun figure to play around. It's a good body mold. It doesn't look too out of proportion. And it's just a fun figure. Ragman, I feel, while the cape and the hood both being wired is so good, there's just not much else going for this figure. I wish he came with some alternate hands, or at least one alternate hand for his left side, so it looks like he's, you know, using his effect pieces properly, other than one being a fist and one of them actually throwing out his powers. But what do you guys think of these figures? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like on that video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always, peace.